it now. It should work. Right. Okay, love bugs of America. How is everyone? So, we've been working on this Daryl Eves challenge. Tonight is the second night that I've actually come live using OBS, and we're going to address the visual a little bit differently, I think, during the challenge, which is 2 more weeks. So we're running a slideshow, and you're going to notice that there's going to be the Shopify chart, one, the Etsy chart. There will be a couple days old Bitcoin chart, and the McDaddy, the one that is that chart right there. That chart right there that basically puts me into legendary status. And of course, there's my new God level. How to chart God level with BeautyBubble and High Skull of Bones. How are you doing? And we're going to be looking over this challenge: Zoom, Amazon, Etsy, and Shopify. And there's some very interesting things that are happening. One of the reasons why I want to at least come back to YouTube with the the mothership of things, and that's the chart, right? I mean, I came onto YouTube in the second round to chart, to chat, and connect creators from all over the world in a non-guru way. And there's 2 things that I've learned in the challenge that you want from me. But what has to happen now is that the analytics say something, but it's up to me to make sure, right, to make certain that I'm actually delivering what it is that you want. Now, let's just stop there for just a moment. That doesn't sound at all like YouTubers, does it? But YouTubers that sit on the analytics, this is all that they do. They bring you content that is literally delivering precisely what it is that you want. So this is hard because I've been through this before. Okay, I'll lean into what it is that you got, and then I go through a period of time with I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to just put it out there and share what I know and be good enough that it's archived and it's on YouTube. And so there you go. I have basically proof of work. But that is not part of the challenge. Part of the challenge is making sure that you're hearing from me what it is that you want. What do you want to view? Why would you hit the button? Why would you follow the channel? Why would you stay with me? Make comments, not only in the live chat, but when the archive is in place. And so you can feel already that what the challenge is all about is this development of community. And there's no numbers around that you guys know. It is not about Beauty wants to have 500 followers, and then she wants 1,000 followers. I've already been through all of that. And so right now it's not about but there seems to me to be a little bit of there's a hole in YouTube that maybe, maybe you guys want to have accountability. That's one thing that maybe you just want to be looking at, 4 charts just to kind of warm yourself up today, or just to be reminded, all the hard work that you have tomorrow in order to find, these gemstones of opportunity. And I'm calling it this development of your micro wealth. And why we're looking at these particular companies is that I do think if we were to scroll back, had we understood the development of micro wealth, that this is something that takes time, it takes rapport, it takes literally having a love affair with information and being able to read it properly. Like, it's actually very, very cool. And I love talking about lifestyle. I love talking about the cookbook. But when I get the chance to share with you what I am seeing in the chart, and then hearing back from you what you see, it is the most thrilling revelation of truth ever. And so if I can do that again, that would be great. But it's up to you to let me know. Not so much, oh, Beauty, I want you to do this chart and that chart and so forth. We're going to focus on micro wealth. I think that this is a good niche inside of YouTube for someone like me to focus on and let you know that there are other ways that you can develop micro wealth. So, Mr. Shanley, thank you so much for the question is asking, can you define micro wealth? That is where money is coming into your hands, wealth is being created each and every day. Because we know that if you learn how to cut the losers in all of your life, you will experience wealth. You may not have the most captivating life experience, but you will have micro wealth over time. This is, of course, if you're starting from absolute zero. And micro wealth can be found in other areas of your life. It can be found in cleaning your life up, because wealth has a very hard time staying inside of chaos, those kinds of things. It can be learning how to write a book so that you've got recurring wealth coming, but this is all on a micro scale. And I've spoken about this over the years so many times in my rule set, whatever that might be. You know, if it's $5, right, if that's your goal, let it be $5 a day. And this is very hard. There's a lot of people that do not believe in this sort of thing. But if you're not getting it from one thing, you're either a maker or a taker. So if you are not getting that $5 from the one thing that you do, you will take it from someone else doing another thing that you have no business doing whatsoever. So let's see if I can define that for you, or if that makes sense to you at all. That you make a decision that wealth is you understand that this is a lot of what we do is inside of the machine of money. Don't earn it, we make it. That's what we do. And so in your making of money, if you're not making an amount, the smallest amount, and make it the smallest amount every single day, you will be taking it from somewhere else. That's kind of the idea behind understanding micro wealth and building it. Does that help at all? Do I need to work on that definition a little bit, Michael? I'm happy to. It's not as esoteric, by the way, at all. It's, we can we are either makers or takers. And no one trips over $100 bill on the sidewalk. So we understand. Money doesn't grow on trees unless you're the tree. I know you've said this before. It's the truth. And unless you are able to build on micro wealth, truly one moment at a time, but this goes true for everything in your life, you will not be ready for this vision of yourself that you have waiting. So it's about understanding wealth, being okay with wealth, knowing how always to have micro wealth so then it can become this bigger vision that you have. So the second chapter of that is that micro wealth can be developed, and why we're focusing on the e-commerce businesses, by always having something else going in your life to keep you grounded in a development of product, watching a different type of commerce come into your life. And so hence tonight is the Shopify and Etsy. I'm going to focus on those charts, and so that you can get some settings going on for you guys. Of course, Michael is in the room. Blessings to Michael Shanley, the 841 discovery was in the hands gifted to his brilliant hand years ago. And as we moved and went through life, then the 841 became, I'm the caretaker of the 841. I do not ever not speak of the 841 cross. It is a genius, simple. You can look for it anywhere in the legacy market, in the cryptocurrency market, in anything that you can chart. Look for the 841 cross. So that's the basis of all the charts that you'll see from me. And then the ones tonight that you're seeing, we decided that we would add the 243, which is the Mac Daddy. The reason being is that the 200, which is a classic EMA on any chart that you could see, is that it wasn't enough. It wasn't deep enough. We were seeing that there were candles that were coming just straight into the 243, and this was just modeled over time. The 200, of course, everybody wanted the 200, but for some reason there were, wicks that would just fly through the 200 and just destroy people. And so through modeling, once again, little bit by little bit by little bit, yes, the 243 is my making, just like the 32 is of my making. So in the early days, the question was, well, Beauty, how would you know that the 841 had crossed short? I said, well, you can only know that if the 8 has trumped all of price, the close of price. And you'll notice this on the charts tonight too, that the 8 is always above price and stays above price. This is an old Forex trick in using the 8. And we stay very true to the 8, but if you probably heard training before, well, where the 9 with the Forex is a very tailored, it can be in the micro charts, it can be in 1 minute, it can be in tick charts, meaning and where the 9 is holding the close, or the 9 is holding the close long or holding the close short. This is a very typical number. So we have put the 8 on the chart so that you can understand that when the 8 is above the close in any direction, that means that the trade it has a tendency to remain in that direction. With one caveat, it's the 51. 51 is the money maker. The 51 is the maker in the trade that keeps the money in. So it's not the 50. I know it sounds crazy, but the narrative is the 51. And when we see the 51, and thank you, Michael, for coming in. Michael says, in my research, the 243 works so well because mathematically it relates to higher level time frames and these EMAs that are of significance. Right. It has just a lovely soft place to land on the 243. You'll notice that a lot of my narratives are mythical, but everything has been proven over time. And so these are things that work for us, and the narrative works for us. There's no form fitting involved. There's no, it's not fancy like that. It's all very kind of simple. And once you put the 243 on the chart, you'll see what we're talking about. Now the 51. So what we're finding out tonight, for example, is the 51 took out both Etsy and Shopify. So a few days back, I brought the Shopify chart to you guys, and I said that the tendencies, to me, it seemed as though that the supply chain was starting to dry up, meaning that people don't have enough goods. There's nothing wrong with e-commerce. There's nothing wrong with Shopify. They may have some other competitors, but they are, I believe, have a growing pain called lack of inventory. The people that have come onto Shopify have worked so hard, and to continue doing what they do, they've done incredible things. The company is just amazing. And yet I think that we're running into a supply chain issue. If they do not start to recover very quickly coming into the fourth quarter, which is the quarter for retail, it is the quarter certainly for e-commerce, that we need to be really, really watching Shopify and coming down into that 240. 51 is well above it now, so there's problems there. Etsy, crazily enough, you'll see the same thing. Same W pattern down below before the chart took off, before the 841. The beautiful ride, beautiful long off of the 841. And so we're just now dealing with some very toppy issues, but I don't think that they're based on fundamentals. There's just a lot of cool stuff that's happening inside of the chart to guide you as to whether or not the health of the company, what are the problems with a company taking on a short position like we're seeing. And it will come around. It needed, in my opinion, to come around on Monday. I'm not very happy with these continued downward numbers. And also we have what's called an expanding wedge. And an expanding wedge can be really violent. That means that it's very tight at the beginning of the wedge, and then it expands. And of course, all the numbers are to the upside, but the width of the wedge is so massive that a lot of times what will happen is there'll be these violent moves in order for that wedge to be confirmed. And so that's crazily enough, that's what we're looking for. And it's just, it's horrible. It's like looking at the eye of. So you can see it there with Shopify. I did not draw it on the Etsy. We'll do it when I come live again. And okay, so that's enough about the charts. We've been live for coming on 17 minutes. And let me make sure that we go through the slideshow and I can wrap it up a little bit. You know that you saw the brilliant chart. This is the chart, the proof of work for me about when we did rebalance in Bitcoin. Got back in at 58.66. That's our love number right there. But I just wanted you to see this is a chart that went out to a lot of my peeps, and the people that I really care about have always known that that was the number. And so there we go. Then the slide that I have here called Quiet Work Time is if I do come to you and I'm live and that screen is up, it just means that I'm working on the charts to then put them into the slideshow, but I'm still here. So we have the BTC on the 1 hour, I believe, and Shopify on the daily, Etsy on the daily, and then let me talk and end things with the deliver on your promises. Deliver. So there's this thing. I found it on the internet over the years, is that for some reason we enjoy yammering, but we do not live up to it. And this can really hurt you over time. So if there's one thing during the challenge that I want you to really think about is live up to your promises. Keep your promises, men. Really and truly, keep them. Write them down. Get yourself a journal. Write one promise to yourself a day and keep it. And it can be for you. It can be for self-care. A lot of talk about this now since we've been quarantined, that if we do not take care of ourselves, we are in a hell of a hurt if we don't. So make it a promise to yourself. If you want to take some more extra steps, maybe you want to make sure that you finally put that one little piece of molding on a project that you're working on. It can be as small as it needs to be for you today, but please make a promise to yourself and keep it and continue on with that mission in life. There's nothing more valued for a man of wealth to keep his promises. It is very powerful. It puts you in a whole other venue of thinking, and it will help you over time. It's been a blessing for me to be with you, and can you believe it? Yo, yo, yo to the yo, 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 and for you, we made it Thank you so much for stopping by. This has been Beauty Bubble here on YouTube. I can't believe I'm back on YouTube. This has been the Shopify and Etsy, bringing back charting and chatting and connecting with you guys. I appreciate you so much. So, there's greatness and goodness in all of us, each and every one of us. How much I appreciate you goes beyond measure. Please listen to that. I have never changed those words with you, and I hope that you'll come back and spend another few minutes of your day with me while we learn together and we begin to understand things a little better. So, with that, I will see you later. Bye-bye. Okay. All right, so that's that while I wrap up. So let me see if I can get Michael's feedback here. Ask him some of the things that you'd like to see. You want to see like my slides bigger or something? Or I can work a little bit on to see what I should. And maybe you scoot it on too. So it's all right. Right in here. All right, so we'll go ahead and end the stream now. Bye, guys.